What is up, folks? Welcome back to the Bibs Corner podcast. This is my third straight week doing the weekly movie recaps, and I'm feeling good. I'm back in the swing of things. I wish I had started and kept consistent with this, but of course the COVID crisis kind of threw everything off. But again, I feel like I'm in a good place. This is your host, as always, Mike Bibbins. And of course the socials, Bibs Corner for the sports stuff, Bibs Film for the film stuff, and then at M Bibs is my primary if you want to see some socialism. So anyway, for the weekly movie recap this week, it was actually a very light week, so this will probably be a very quick podcast. I only saw 2 movies this week. They were Bad Education with Hugh Jackman, and then The Assistant with Julia Garner. This week I spent most of my time working on finally getting out the Bibs Corner Film Awards, which I'll probably be recording that podcast tomorrow morning, or tomorrow I should say, and getting that out probably in the middle of the week. And this feels like a good enough place to drop the ad, so I'm going to do that now. Please sit through that. It's going to be about 40 seconds, and then we'll get into the actual reviews for this week. Thank you. The first movie I saw this week was The Assistant, and it was a movie that I almost saw right before theaters closed. It was showing for, I think, one weekend at the local indie theater, the Nickelodeon. On Main Street in Columbia, South Carolina. And I almost went there because I love Julia Garner in Ozark, and I think she has a very bright future as an actress. So I definitely wanted to see her turn in a leading role. With that said, the movie is about a young woman who is an assistant for a big-time film executive. Think Harvey Weinstein, basically. And it's very much that vibe where he does some shady things, especially with young women. And basically she's supposed to turn the other cheek, have a blind eye to it, cover for him in different scenarios. When she makes mistakes, he requires that she send him an email apology, things like that. It's one of those movies it does a good job of not feeling, I don't want to say not feeling like a movie, but it looks like an everyday thing. Like she's just going throughout her normal day. There isn't something ridiculous or special necessarily that happens that makes it feel like not a normal situation for a human being to be in. And I think that was kind of the goal. So essentially, she eventually works up the courage to try to report something she thinks she's seen her boss do. And based on how that goes, that was probably the best scene of the movie, honestly, when she goes to basically the HR. I won't necessarily give that away, but this was a very poignant film just because of the climate with Time's Up and Me Too and all that. So very topical for what we're dealing with in society right now. Very real in the sense of how all of these things can occur and be common within a workplace, and the way people just turn their head to it. Especially a person like this, like a Harvey Weinstein, who controls so much of the industry. And it's like you don't want to be on the bad side of a person like that, because they can completely end your career, essentially. For that, I would say that it was good. It did its job, if you will. On the other hand, it is not a movie that I would be actively recommending to people. Like if I would not feel strongly about saying, go watch it to anyone, whether they're a casual movie watcher or even someone who, considers himself like a critical person when it comes to film. It's not one that I would actively recommend. I would let you know what it's about, essentially, and tell you that, if you're interested in seeing something like that portrayed, then definitely give it a watch. I don't think it's particularly eye-opening. It wasn't for me, I'll say, because, I'm aware that this is how, it is. But for someone maybe who's struggling to grasp that concept, then it might be something you would watch with that person. But moving on, I haven't given that a star rating yet. I'm leaning around 3 out of 5, maybe 2.5. We'll see where I settle. Moving on, though, the second movie I watched this week was Bad Education. I had been hearing and seeing a lot of people talk about this on film Twitter. Just looking at the picture and seeing, the imagery around it, I wasn't excited about watching this movie, actually. I don't even remember why I made the decision to. I think I know exactly what happened. I was trying to find Yes God Yes on streaming, and I was struggling to do so, and Bad Education popped up, and I said, I'll go ahead and knock this out and see if I can find this movie later. Come to find out, Yes God Yes actually arrives on streaming on the 28th. Tomorrow, I guess. And so I'll definitely be watching that, and I'll be talking about that next week. But Bad Education, I'm very glad that I watched it. When I hit play on it, I was like, I'm just getting this out of the way because I'm tired of hearing about it. But I am very glad that I watched it. It was actually a really good movie. Hugh Jackman was amazing. The film also has Ray Romano and Allison Janney in it. But basically, it is a true story about New York superintendent of schools and, just the whole board for the schools embezzling, essentially, money from the school district, millions of dollars, essentially. And just the way that whole situation unfolded, the different ways people were impacted, things like that. Hugh Jackman, quite honestly, I would put him in the list for awards consideration, honestly, with his portrayal of his character. He had layers. He was interesting in many ways, just the way he interacted with the students, the way he carried himself in business, the ways that I'm not going to try to spoil different things, but the way you see his lifestyle outside of the school setting was very interesting. Definitely worth watching just for Hugh Jackman alone, if nothing else. The other person who stood out for me in this film was Geraldine, and I'm probably going to kill her last name, Geraldine Viswanathan. She plays a young student who's like a writer for the school newspaper, and her portrayal of this young girl, I think she's like 25, her portrayal of this young high school girl was great. It was believable. It was everything that it needed to be for this film, and then a little bit more even. She was great. I thought her interactions with Hugh Jackman and the rest, and Allison Janney, who I believe is his Hugh Jackman's assistant, superintendent. I probably should have double checked these roles before I sat down, but basically they worked hand in hand in the office. But her interactions with both of those people who are authority figures to her, obviously, were brilliant in my opinion, and I'm probably going to nominate her for something too on my potential 2020 Bibbs Corner Film Awards. We'll see how it all shakes out, but as of now, I'm about to go put both of them on my short lists. The movie was fun. It was smart. The way the story is told keeps you on the, I don't want to say necessarily on the edge of your seat, but it keeps you captivated the entire time. Like there was no point in this movie where I was bored, because you're continuously learning new things about the characters, about the situation, about the school, whatever the case may be. You're just continuously learning, and you're kind of watching how they react to the revelation of different things and the way they try to maintain some sense of control over their lives as things start to spiral. The fact that it's a true story only enhances it for me. Like, if this was fictional, it would still have been fun and interesting. But the fact that it's a true story makes it that much more. It gives it an extra. It's the cherry on top, if you will, for me. I love a good true story. I'll probably do some research on it just to look into who the people are, what they actually look like, how much of what was portrayed in the movie was real. I do want to give a quick mention to Jimmy Tatro, who actually does show up in the movie as well. I've really fallen in love with him as an actor after his performance in American Vandal. But man, overall, if I had to recommend one of these two films, Bad Education or The Assistant, it would 100% be Bad Education. Go in with an open mind, and most people are probably going to enjoy that movie. And that's really all I wanted to say on this podcast today. I appreciate you guys checking in as usual. This one is going to be under 15 minutes, which I love. And again, next week I do expect to be watching I'll probably watch about 4 movies. I'm probably going to watch Yes, God, Yes, for sure. And then I might watch The Rental, which is Dave Franco's directorial debut. So excited about that. Yeah, that's it. And thank you again for checking in. I'll be back next week for another weekly movie recap. And I'll also be on the lookout in the middle of this week for the Bibbs Corner Film Awards, the inaugural awards. I'm excited to announce those winners. So, peace.